hope you're well. I've got another video for you, another Pilates session. So let's get started. We're going to start lying down on the mat. So if you want to bring yourself onto your mat, lower yourself down. We're just going to have our feet flat on the floor and our knees are going to be bent. And then from there, we are just going to relax our hands down by our sides. Make sure those shoulders are away from your ears. And we're just going to start thinking about our breath. So inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Now as you do this, just try and make the breath continuous, kind of circular, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then I just want you to think about what your ribs are doing as well. So are they lifting up or are they coming out to the side? So we're trying to fill the backs of our lungs up, backs of the ribs. As we do that, as we inhale, and then as we exhale, we're pursing our lips and we're just feeling that deep core, those deep core muscles engage and contract, and just emptying out those lungs. Cool. So let's just do a few more breaths here. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, making sure those ribs aren't popping up as you inhale, keeping them nice and pulled down, and then coming out to the side. And then whilst we're doing that, we're just thinking the eyes are in the back of our heads, they're really heavy, our head's nice and kind of, comfortable lying on the back, on the mat, sorry, not your back. And then you are just going to have a big exhale. Okay, so we're just thinking, we're just coming down to our shoulders now. Our shoulders are away from our ears, they aren't crunched up by our ears. They're also relaxed in the mat. Our ribs aren't popping out, we've pulled our ribs down, and we're just coming to our pelvis and our tailbone. We're just going to start to have a bit of a movement there, tilting it back and forth, imprinting the lower back into the mat, and then bring the lower back away from the mat. So we're just starting to try and get a feel for where our neutral spine is, what feels comfortable, how we feel, and just starting to get a bit of a movement through that lower back. Okay, we're going to bring it to the neutral spine, so to the middle. Should be a bit of a space between your lower back and the mat. And then we're just going to come to our knees and our legs. So feet flat on the mat, knees hip width apart, knees bent. We're just going to relax our hands down by our sides, a bit wider than the mat. And then we're just going to lower our knees to one side, allowing the hip to come off the mat, keeping the shoulders on the mat, and then lifting those legs up and going over to the other side. So again, just starting to get a bit of movement, making sure we feel okay, and just getting into it. So keeping with that breath, inhale as you take those legs over, exhale, pull those legs back up. Try and keep those feet parallel. They will probably move just because this movement's quite relaxed, and we're just loosening everything up just to begin with. Okay, one more time, over to the side, and then just bring those legs back to the middle. Okay, from here we are going to, we're just going to raise our arms all the way up above our head, and then bring our arms back. We're just trying to get a bit of movement through the shoulders, warming up through the shoulders, keeping those arms nice and straight. Good. And we're not allowing the arms to touch the mat either side, so the arms are working the whole way. And then from here, we are going to bring our arms up to the middle, straight up to the ceiling. We're going to bend our elbows and take our arms out to the side and relax our hands down on the mat. So we've got our arms in a kind of cactus position, and then we're just going to open and close the arms, lifting them away from the floor and then back down again. Okay. Now as you do this, I want you to start thinking about lifting something up off the floor as you lift these arms away, and then pushing back down to the mat, so you're trying to squash something into the floor with your arms. So there's a bit of resistance there. We're making those arm muscles work, we're warming them up, getting them ready to stay nice and strong and active throughout the session. Okay, we're just going to do one more. Bring those arms up and then bring those arms back down. And just take those arms down, back on the mat, either side, and just relax them there. From here, we're just going to engage our core. Inhale to prepare, then exhale. And bring one leg up into tabletop. Inhale, and then exhale, and bring the other leg up into tabletop. Good. And then from here, we're just going to start doing our toe taps. So really gently lowering one leg at a time into the mat. Good. Exhaling as you lower. And then changing leg. So again, we're just kind of warming ourselves up, linking, getting that connection between our breath and our core. Just being aware of what our core's doing, making sure it's staying nice and engaged, not bulging. We've got a nice scoop through the belly. Good. We're just going to do 2 more here. 1 and 2. And then from there, you're just going to lower one leg down and then lower the other leg down. Bring those feet in closer than you would when you're just, before we went into toe taps. So they should be quite close to the bum. And then from here, we're just going to inhale, imprint the lower back into the mat, and then exhale and curl ourselves up into a nice bridge. Now, as we do this, we want to make sure our body's in a nice long line, our ribs aren't flaring up, our arms are nice and relaxed, and the weight's resting in our shoulders. It's not in our head or our neck. We're going to inhale at the top, and then we're going to exhale and roll ourselves back down. Good. Now this time we're going to inhale. And then we're going to exhale, really tucking that tailbone under, squeezing those glutes, engaging those hamstrings, and making sure those knees aren't flaring or separating as you lift those legs up. So keeping those knees in. And then again, exhaling, rolling back down. Good. Rolling up. Making sure the weight's nice and evenly distributed through the feet, the hips are nice and level at the top, and your ribs aren't flaring. Good. And then coming back down. We're going to do 2 more here. Nice and slow, just getting mobility through the spine, warming those muscles up, waking them up, making sure they're working. One last one. And just trying to make the movement nice, continuous, and a nice flow. Okay, we're going to take this on a level. If you want to stick with what we were just doing, that's absolutely fine. So we're going to come up into our bridge. And then from there, we're just going to take the weight into our toes and lift those heels up off the mat. And we're going to do that 4 times. And then just 1 more here. And then you're going to roll back down, 1 vertebra at a time. Reset, come back to that neutral spine each time. And then tuck the tailbone under and roll back up. Good, okay, so 4 heel lifts again. Trying to keep those hips nice and level the whole time. Nice and smooth transition. One last one, lower down, and then exhale. Roll yourself back down to the mat. Good, okay, last time. Rolling up. Getting yourself nice and set up. Glutes are still working. And going into those heel lifts. And this time we're just going to do 6 instead of 4. So a couple more. We're going to do another 3, 2, and one last one. Good. And from there we're going to come down. We're going to imprint our spine. We're going to lift one leg up into tabletop, and then we're going to lift the other leg up into tabletop. We're going to point those toes, zip those legs together. Make sure those knees are over those hips, they haven't crept forward. And then we're going to take our arms out to the side, just straight out. Palms facing down or palms facing up, whatever's more comfortable. And what we're going to do, we're just going to inhale and lower the legs to one side. And then we're going to exhale and bring these legs back up. Inhale, lowering the legs to the other side. And then exhale, come back up. So as we're doing this, we're making sure that we're allowing our hip to come up off the mat to increase the twist. We're exhaling and really engaging that core to pull ourselves back up. And we're making sure this opposite shoulder is staying on the mat. It's not lifting up off the mat at all. Okay, we're going to do 1 more each side. Just check those knees, are they still above the hips? One last time. Over to the other side. And then coming back up. Good. Lowering one leg down at a time. Bring your legs back into that nice relaxation position we had at the start. Just checking that core is still nice and engaged. And we're going to take our hands up behind our head, clasp our hands, keeping those elbows nice and wide, making sure our ribs haven't popped up. So drawing them down, inhaling to prepare, and then exhaling, we're going up into that nice curl up, keeping those elbows nice and wide, and then exhaling and coming back down again. Good. So again, we're just starting to really engage that core, really work that core. You're using that breath, so exhaling on the way up, having a little inhale, and then exhaling on the way back down. So again, it's a continuous movement, not much of a pause at the top, and then you go back down again. And we're going to do another 2 here. We're keeping those elbows nice and wide. Good. And then we're going to come back down. Okay, this time we're going to bring our legs up into tabletop. We're going to challenge ourselves now. So if you don't want to do this, then stick with curl ups. That's absolutely fine with what we were just doing. If you want to come with me, what we're going to do, have our legs up into tabletop, and we're going to curl up, hold ourselves up, and we're going to do 4 toe taps. 2, 3, and 4. And then from there, you're just going to exhale and roll yourself back down. Okay, exhale, come up, and then 4 toe taps again. Keeping that core scoop, that belly scooped in. Elbows are nice and wide, they're not creeping in. One last one here. And then exhale back down. Good, we've got 2 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, exhale and come back down. Okay, inhale and then exhale, come up. Eyes gazing through the legs. You can actually check your core as you're up here, making sure it's not bulging, scooping that belly the whole time, and then exhale and come back down. Draw those knees in towards the chest, and just give them a hug, and then give them a nice circle, and that always feels nice. Okay, we are just going to place our hands behind our legs. We're just going to warm up our hamstrings a bit. Just place your hands behind your knees, just straighten and bend the legs. Just get those leg muscles really warm, working, really do a bit of work. And just trying to stretch out the hamstrings. And then from here, we're going to just bring our legs into tabletop, one at a time. We're going to curl ourselves up, and we're going to go into single leg stretch. So we're going to extend one leg away, hug the other leg in, and then we're going to change legs. So your whole leg, all the muscles in your leg are working. Your bum, your glutes are working as well. You're pointing those toes. You're scooping that belly in. And you're making sure your upper body is lifted up away from the mat and there's no twisting going on. And we're going to do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, bring those legs in. Again, give them a circle. Okay, from here we're going to progress this again. And it's totally up to you. So bring those legs back up into tabletop. Curl yourself up. We're going to go into that double leg stretch. If you don't want to do that, just stick with what we were just doing. Pull those knees in. Curl yourself up into a ball. Hands as though you're taking a hat off your head. Exhale. Sweep those arms around into a ball. Good. So the whole time scooping that belly in. And we've got 2 more. 5 instead of 4. Good. One last one. Sweep those arms around. Curl yourself up into a ball. And then just relax down. Now from here you're going to straighten one leg out. You're going to straighten both legs out actually. And then you're going to change legs. We're going to go into scissors. Try and keep that leg straight. If you really struggle to, then don't pull it in so close. And we're going to do another 4, 3, 2, and Good. Again, relax down, circle those legs. This core is working a lot. Okay, relax those legs down. We're going to bring those legs into tabletop, and then from there we're going to go into 100. Again, there's variations and modifications. If you want to, you can just curl yourself up and actually pulse your arms from this position. Keep those feet on the mat. Other option is to have your legs up into tabletop, legs bent, imprinting your back, and then pulsing those arms. And the more advanced option is to have your legs straight, turned up, and pulse those arms here. So pick your level, and don't forget, if you start with straight legs you can bend, and if you start with your legs bent you can still take them to the mat. The whole idea of this exercise is breathing, so getting those, linking the breathing up to your arm pulses, and just really working that core, so scooping that core in the whole time, and making sure you've got nice strong arms, they're not just floppy. Okay, so let's get ourselves ready. I'm going to have my legs bent, up in tabletop, curl yourselves up. Inhale, prepare. If you've got your legs here, eyes are gazing through your between your legs. And actually, if you've got your legs straight, eyes again gazing through to your knees. And we're just gonna inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. Relax down. Draw those knees in towards the chest. And actually also just hug one knee in, straighten the other leg out, and just enjoy that stretch. And then extend the other leg away. Take those arms overhead. Reach those arms and legs away. Straighten, lengthen out through that body. Getting all my words muddled up. Just hug that other leg in. Good. Give that a nice little stretch. And then from there, we are going to come onto our sides and go into a nice side series. So, we are going to have our feet on top of one another, hand just in front, hips are going to be nice and stacked, and you can either have your head resting on your arm, or you can have your hand propping your head up. If you have your hand up like this, make sure you don't just relax, so you are lifting yourself up. And if you struggle with your balance, then bring those legs forward. It's totally up to you. And just to begin with, we're just going to lift and lower. So pointing that foot to lift, flexing the foot to lower, and lengthening. As you flex that foot, lengthen through that leg, through the heel of the foot. Good. We're going to do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now from there, we're just going to hold that leg in line with the hip, and we're just going to lift that bottom leg to the top leg. Flexing the foot, again, lengthening through the legs, like pushing, making the legs really long through the heels. We've got another 4, 3, exhale as you lift, 2, and 1. Good. Now from here, we are going to lower both legs down, and we're going to lift both legs up together off the mat. Just check in with that head. If you've got your head propped up, have you relaxed? Just make sure you're still lifting up through the core. We've got another 3, 2, and 1. Good. Relax that leg, the bottom leg down, the top leg, point that leg, point the toes, and we're going to circle the leg. And we're going to do another 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then change direction. So again, pointing that toe, making sure all the muscles are engaged, and then we're going to do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now from here, we're going to bring the leg forward and then take the leg back. So really challenging our balance and also trying to make the movement as smooth as possible. And we've got another 4, 3, 2, and one last one. Good. Relax that leg down. And then we're going to change sides. Okay. So coming down onto the mat. And then from there, just checking and making sure that we've got our feet on top of each other, our hips are nice and stacked, our waist is lifting up off the mat, and our head and our neck is also lifting up off the mat. It's not just, you're not just sinking into your neck. Okay, now from there, we're just going to lift and lower. Pointing the toes on the lift, flexing the toes on the lower. Excuse my cracky toe there. That wasn't very nice, was it? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring that top leg in line with the hip, and then flexing both feet and lifting and lowering the bottom leg to the top leg. We've got another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lowering both legs and then lifting them together. Pointing those toes, trying to keep those hips nice and stacked the whole time. And we've got another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Okay, now from here, we are going to take that top leg in line with the hips, and we are going to circle that leg. And we've got another 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to change direction. So just check in with those hips. Are they nice and stacked still? Is your head still lifting up? You haven't sunk into that. And is your waist still lifting up? We've just got 2 more circles here. 1 and 2. And then from there, we're taking the leg forward and then taking it back. So challenging our balance. As soon as I take my leg back, I really struggle, so I really have to focus. Pointing and flexing that foot as well. We've got another 3, 2, and one last one. Bring it forward and taking it back. Good. Now, from here, we're going to come onto our fronts. We are going to, just to begin with, have our hands on top of one another. Rest our forehead on our hands, having our legs straight back behind us. Inhale, prepare, and then exhale. We're just going to lift one leg, pointing those toes, lifting and lowering, movement coming from the hip. We've got another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, I want you to try and keep the knee lifted up with the mat. We're going to bend the leg in and then straighten it away. So you're pointing and flexing that leg. And we've got another 4, 3, 2, and one last one. Okay, flex that, bend that knee in, flex the foot, and you're going to push up to the ceiling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Relax that down, that leg down. And we're going to go on to the other side. So, pointing that toe, movement coming from the hip, and we're just lifting and lowering. Nothing too crazy. Nothing to confuse the mind just yet, until we add the flexing and pointing of the foot. We've got another 3, 2, and 1. Okay, keeping that leg lifted, flexing the foot, and then bending and straightening. Flexing and pointing as you do that. We've got another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring that leg in, flexing the foot up towards the ceiling, and then we're just going to imagine we're pushing the ceiling up. And we've got another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Okay, from there, we're going to take our legs, we're just going to take them so that our toes are out, heels are turned in. We're going to take our arms into a nice box position, and we're going to inhale, prepare, and then exhale, and just move up to this upper back. So exhaling as you lift up, and rather than lifting, we're thinking about lengthening through the upper back. So you're trying to imagine you're getting a nice curve through this upper part of the back here, just between the shoulder blades. So we're trying to counteract all that hunched over our phone action. Yeah. Sliding those shoulder blades down your back, lengthening through the crown of your head, and drawing that belly button up towards the spine as well. We're just going to do 2 more here. Good. Now from here, we're going to place our hands under our shoulders, and we're just going to expand, progress this. So exhale, coming up, inhale, coming back down. So you're pushing that mat away, and you're really thinking about sliding your shoulder blades down your back, lengthening through the crown of your head, and drawing that belly button in towards the spine. Good. And you're going to do 2 more here. 1. Trying to keep the feet on the mat. And 1 last one. Good. Okay, now from here, we're going to take both hands behind our back. We're going to have our legs straight behind us, and we're going to inhale. And as we do that, we're going to try and kick our bum twice. Then we're going to point those toes, and we're going to extend up, opening up that chest. And then you're going to come back down, kick the bum twice, and then exhale, lengthening through the arms and the legs. Good. We've got another 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Relax down, and you're going to push your hands up, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And then from there, you're just going to tuck the tailbone under, draw that belly button up towards the spine, curve that spine, do a nice cat stretch, and then we're going to come into cow. So sticking the bum up in the air, arching the back, just making sure that you're not relaxing that core, you're still drawing that core in, and then from tucking from the tailbone, curving up through the spine, all the way to the head, and then going back the other way. And then 1 last time, from the tailbone, tucking under, curving up. Good. Now from here, you're just going to take one hand slightly forward, you're going to feed the other hand through, and you're just going to reach forward. Just get a nice stretch across the back. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Good. Now from there, we're going to take our hands forward, hands under shoulders, and you're just going to step out into a nice plank. So nice strong body. And we're just going to hold that there, and then we're just going to start tapping the feet. And I don't want your feet to just smack the floor. Hopefully you shouldn't be able to hear your feet. We're going to do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. From there, push. And push your bum towards the heels. Have a nice breather. Good. And then from there, you're going to come back up into that plank position. And we're just going to hold this here, drawing that belly button in towards the spine, tucking the tailbone under, pushing the mat away. Hold that there for another 4, 3, 2, 1. And then from there, you're going to come up into pike. So you're just going to stick your bum up in the air, excuse my cracky toes, and you're going to start walking on the spot, just pedaling those feet. So we're just coming into a nice finish. We're going to start doing some stretching in a minute. Good, and then from there you're just going to hold one leg down. You should feel a nice deep stretch through the calf muscle, that lower leg. And then we're just going to change sides. Bending the other leg, straightening out one leg. And then from there you're going to bring the knees down to the mat. And you're going to bring one leg forward. And you're going to come into a nice hip flexor stretch. So you should feel it down the front of this leg here. Good. And then if you want some more, you can bring your hands down to the mat. You can bring your elbows all the way down to the mat as well. And you should hopefully get a nice stretch through that hip flexor. Hold that there for a few more moments. Good, and then take your hands either side of that front foot. We're going to take the weight of our into our back leg. You know, a nice straight front leg. We're going to try and straighten out that back. That means that you struggle with your balance. That's either try and reach down to the mat, place your hands on your legs, and then draw those toes up towards you. Good. And then from there, take the weight into the front leg, lean forwards, and then just take your weight back. And then changing sides, taking the other leg forward, coming into that nice hip flexor stretch, leaning down into it, allowing the hips to lean forwards, lean down towards the mat. And then from there, you're going to come forwards, hands either side, and all the way down to the mat if you want to. I'm much tighter on this side, so I can't get as low. But we're just going to hold that there for a few more moments. Good. And then hand either side, pushing the mat away and just trying to straighten out that front leg. Finding your balance, so just curling your back and allowing your hands to touch the mat just to begin with. And then bring yourself up, straightening that back. If you can keep your hands down on the mat with a straight back, and go for it, that's absolutely fine. And then drawing those toes up as well. Good. And then from there, you're just going to lean forwards and then bring the legs back. We're just going to come forwards. We're just going to do one more little stretch. And we're just going to bring our right leg, right ankle onto our left knee. Feed our hands through. Pull that leg towards you. Should get a nice stretch through the glutes there. Good, and then from there we're just going to change sides. Feed those hands through. Good. And then hold that there for a little longer. Good. And then from there we're just going to relax those legs down, place our hands behind our thighs. Exhale and roll ourselves up. We're just going to come round into a nice seated position. We're just going to do a few breaths just to finish off. So inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. And just being aware of those core muscles, those deep muscles engaging as you're exhaling and emptying the lungs of air. Good, and then last time, inhale, lift yourself up, lengthen up through the crown of your head, slide those shoulder blades down, and then have a big exhale. Draw that belly button in towards the spine, and that's you done. I really hope you enjoyed it. Cheers guys, bye!